Nepo started with e4, e5 by Ding Liren, and we have the rule opus, Berlin defense. And here Nepo played d3, bishop c5 and c3. Castles. So we don't have an exchange of queens. We have a position where white is going to do some maneuvers just like a regular rule opus. So there is still chances for white to claim an advantage. Pawn a5, pawn a4, queen e7. And now queen c2, knight b8, regarding the knight, rook e1 and rook d8. Pawn h3, pawn h6, and knight f1. So this very common maneuver in the rule opus, getting the knight to e3 or g3. Pawn c6, that bishop was too active there. Ding kicks it. Bishop goes to c4. Still the best piece of white on a very good diagonal. Knight a6, knight g3. So these two knights are going to head to the f5 square. That's the journey of this knight. And once it lands there, will be a knife, a sharp thing in the king's position. Queen c7, bishop moves. So queen c7 was preparing the move b5, using the queen on the c file. So bishop a2, pawn b5, and queen e2. A pawn sacrifice by Nepo. Not a big sacrifice because you can take it back with the rook, and black can't really defend it, even if black takes it now. So Ding played rook b8, and now Nepo starts his knight dance. One of them will land on f5, bishop f8, ready for defense, queen f3. Bishop takes h6 is in the air right now. Here, Ding played some accurate moves. He played pawn takes pawn, not worried about bishop h6. Because if you start to worry about that and move the king, you will be in trouble. For example, if you play something like king h7, then the knight dance becomes even more problematic because queen g3 and then after b3, bishop a3, and all these ideas are in the air. And now knight takes pawn is also in the air because pawn takes, queen takes knight. So Ding just takes on a4 without worrying about bishop takes pawn, which is the correct response. Now the game is thrilling because Nepo has got a position where he can push, where he can attack. His kind of position. Now Ding plays knight c5. He realizes the knight needs to come in so that the rook can become active. And rook b2 is also coming. Nepo plays knight g6. He wants to eliminate the most defensive piece here, the bishop. The knight pawn is pinned, so of course you can't take it. It's pinned by the bishop. Rook takes b2. Ding correctly takes the pawn, so he is now a pawn up. Knight takes f8, rook takes f8, and bishop g5. It was possible for Nepo to play moves like bishop c4 and wait a little bit. So then after bishop e6, you will have to play something like knight f5. Bishop g5 was played by Nepo. Knight h7, and now bishop went to kick the rook. So the attack has been correctly managed by Ding with the help of the bishop and the knight. And Nepo's attack hasn't gone anywhere. Rook b5 and bishop a3. He shifts to the other side, pinning the knight. The rook moves, and now bishop c4. Again, the rook is attacked. This is a very interesting moment in the game because Ding plays bishop e6, sacrificing an exchange. Now Nepo has a big choice: exchange the pieces or take the sacrificed exchange. Nepo decided to play bishop take bishop, which led to a very equal position. If he takes the exchange, then the game is double edged because after pawn takes, it's a proper positional exchange sacrifice. Because white has a rook for a knight right now, but that knight's going to land on b3. The c5 knight will land on b3, and ideas of b4 will come. c3 pawn is weak, and the knight's going to come back into the game. Rook c8 will attack the pawn. So this pawn mass was enough compensation for the extra exchange. So Nepo decides to not do that. He goes bishop takes bishop. Knight takes back, and now the game is just even. There is not much attacking potential here. You just have two pieces, and the defensive setup is already in place. Pawn c5, killing the bishop's diagonal. Queen e2, attacking the rook. Rook b3, keeping the rook active, attacking the c pawn. Queen c4, the a4 pawn is attacked. Ding defends it. Bishop c1, knight f6, and queen takes pawn. Takes, and after rook c3, bishop b2. Rook b3, bishop takes pawn. A lot of exchanges, and right now material is completely even. Four pawns, and these pawns are weak. So is this pawn. Rook b4. So Ding neutralizes the pieces of Nepo. Now rook takes and rook takes e4. Another exchange. And as the number of pieces reduce, the chance of win is also gone. Now Nepo is up by a pawn, so he pushed, but not with any real chances. Knight f5, we have some more moves. He tries to not exchange rooks. King comes in, f5, king moves, attacking the rook. Nice move, rook e7. So here, Nepo goes for the check, and finally he decides to exchange because he cannot make any progress otherwise. And now knight e5. So he still pushes. This is move number 53, and he pushes for 30 more moves until the position is just deplete. Pawn h4 takes, king f4. h3 takes. So the pawns are disconnected. So Ding basically gave back the pawn and disconnected the white pawns. So the extra pawn should be manageable. He tries to win f3, h4, knight moves, check, king moves, king g6. Black keeps the king active. Knight f4. Of course, you can't exchange knights, then you lost. The king f2, king e5, and king e3. Tries his best, but the king is not able to hold its ground. King e3 and knight check. King f4, knight comes back. King g3, knight check. And we have some more moves. White tries to enter. He just waits here. Ding even gets a pawn to f4. And now he's got a nice setup. The black king is just going to stay there, not allowing white to get in. And here the game is drawn because there is just one pawn left and that's about to get taken. So this is how game 9 panned out. So with 5 games left in the match, Nepo is still leading by 1 point.